Good evening, entrepreneurs and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, Good evening, entrepreneurs and visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey Fonville Foster, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right, hello. Welcome. Every time I change the mode of these Monday Night Lives, I'm always like, where am I looking? But hey, welcome to the first Monday Night Live of 2024. I'm super excited to be here. I was just messaging my assistant. I said, I'm a little nervous. Like a new year, I feel like there's new expectations. We're trying out some different things. If you know, the latter part of last year, we were trying to stream to as many platforms as we could on a consistent basis. And through a lot of trial and error, today we are finally utilizing our main software to also broadcast Instagram. So if you see me look over, it's because I'm monitoring to make sure it's still working. Because guys, technology does what it likes. But the fun part and the scary part about being an entrepreneur is we have to try new things and just keep moving with technology as it grows. So shout outs to you if you are joining us. I know it's the first of the year, so some of you are still recuperating from the holidays. Some of you might have been out a little late last night, and I get that not everybody will be watching this live, but even if you're watching the replay, I want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who made 2023 an amazing year, especially our IROC family. I definitely just can't express how amazing last year was. Reached some goals I didn't even know that were even on the horizon. Made so many new connections. It was just absolutely amazing, and I'm just so excited to see what the new year brings and who I get to connect with and who I get to grow with and support. I'm just overjoyed. All right, so let's see. Let's look at the tech real quick. All right, so we got some people live on Instagram. We're also live here in our Facebook community. We are in our LinkedIn community, and yeah, those 3 places we are today. I had to think, I was like, where are we? But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, this video will be available on YouTube as a replay because we're trying to utilize all my little internet service that I have in my location and get to everybody. But again, welcome. We host these Monday Night Lives every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And really, it's just a way for us to learn and grow together. Our audience, right? The people who typically join us are typically coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, small business owners. And so that is who this kind of content is geared towards. We also do some kind of pop-in lives here and there, but for sure, every single Monday, rain or shine, sick or healthy, people who've been following me know we will be here at 6 p.m. So definitely do join us, definitely do engage. There's always fun little rewards for people who engage. So I'm just going to kind of throw that out there. Let me make sure I can see the comments too. If you are watching this live, go ahead and tell me hello. Let me know you are watching. You can let me know what platform you're on because I want to test this tech. Like we spending all this money on tech. I want to know that it's working. So let me know in the comments. Tell me hello. Tell me what platform you were on so that I know that we are live and going to all the places we need to go. And I know, well, I think there's a little lag on Facebook too. I'm going to check. Let me just make sure. But I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. I see your reactions. Welcome, welcome. Hello from Facebook. I see Instagram too. Awesome. Okay, cool. LinkedIn, you got to catch up. You got to catch up. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the topic for today because I know, like I said, we all went out. I'm not going to just keep saying y'all. We all went out last night. So I know we ready to go to bed again. Like, it's that time we get older. We need naps, so I get it. So let's go ahead and dive into the topic. Today's topic is kickstarting our year. Woohoo for 2024. We're going to talk about setting and achieving business goals. Now, I know some of you may be thinking that every year around this time, like the latter part of the year and the beginning of the year, people talk about goal setting and you're just like, all right, I get it. Smart goals, I get it. But I promise you, if you stick with us a little bit, we're going to talk more about how to actually achieve these goals. Because I get it. It's easy to go to a vision board party and say, I have X, Y, and Z goals for the year, and then the first quarter of the year goes by, and you've done pretty much nothing to get to that goal. The middle of the years happen, and life is happening. You're like, life is life, and I didn't get it done. And then you're at the third quarter, and you're pretty much done gave up. And then the fourth quarter hits, and it's time to do your vision board party again, and you haven't reached half of the goals that you set for yourself. Well, this doesn't have to be that for you. I was once that person that kind of had, I call them dreams now, they weren't even goals, but who would have these dreams or ambitious goals or what have you. And then the year would happen and I wouldn't achieve them. And so I learned a new way, a strategic way to actually get things done, right? For those of you who don't know, one of the things that I do every year is I have a word for the year. And so this year, my word is implementation because I realize that that's the piece that a lot of people are missing in their business. It's not necessarily they don't know what they should be doing, it's that they're not implementing, right? You have the goal, you know where you want to get, you're just not implementing the steps to get there. And so we're going to talk more about that tonight. A little bit about us, though, before we dive into the meat of what we're talking about. I do want to make sure, because we do have new people in our community. Welcome, welcome. But also, just for those of you who may have been watching but don't exactly know what it is that we do here at IROC Marketable Business Solutions, a little bit about us. And I don't want to read all this, but pretty much we're dedicated to helping coaches and consultants and other small business owners achieve their goals and unlock their full potential. I am not a type of coach that will tell you what your goals should be. I'm not the type of coach that's going to tell you what success is. I love when people come to me and say, this is what I want to do. This is my motivation. This is where I want to go. And then it's my job as a coach to help you with whatever resources I have available to me to get you where you want to go. That's as simple as it is. And our mission is to empower you guys, right? By helping you accomplish those goals, just like I said. But we also, I feel, are unique in the aspect that we really do look at your budget. There are all kinds of ways to get to the finish line. There just is. And I don't like people to think there's just one way. And the people that I tend to work with don't have huge budgets. They don't tend to have savings and things that they can pull from and a whole bunch of credit lines and friends and family to donate or whatever, like a big trust fund to grab from. And so we have to work within the financial constraints that they may have, but that doesn't mean that they can't be successful. So that's a big part of our mission, is to really kind of have your budget and also your skill set in the forefront of our minds as we create products and services to support you. All right. And overall, above everything else, we really believe that no matter your circumstances, no matter your background, no matter your situation, you have the right to live life on your own terms and have success in whatever way that means to you. So it's our job, again, to just support you to get where you want to be. Simple enough? I think so. All right, a little bit about me. Again, you can read this bio. I just kind of threw it up here. I swear every couple of days I make a new bio, but enjoy it. But what you need to know about me is Again, hey, I'm Corey, and I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm a certified business coach, and I'm also the CEO of IROC Marketable Business Solutions. And if you don't know anything else about me, know this. I got into business in a very what I call non-traditional sense. I kind of got thrust into it after leaving what I thought was my dream industry. I was in the medical field. But I had to get out. I had a rare eye condition, and it was either kind of fall into despair or find a new path. And that's what I did. And I got into business, and I was really self taught in the beginning. And then I found some amazing tools and individuals to support me. And my job now is to give back to you guys and make sure that you can too find your path, so that you can have success again in whatever way you find that means the most to you. So we don't have to go into detail. I have some, I got some stuff. If you look me up, Google me, you'll learn more about me. But the most important part is to know that I've been where you are, and I really am here to support you. All right. So just before we hop into again the meat of what we have going on, I do want to say what we offer because some things have changed. I do always encourage you guys to go to our website, irockmarketablebusinesssolutions.com, to see in real time what our offerings are. If you're also on our email list, we have specials and things like that. But in a nutshell, we have a couple of categories in our business. We have done for you coaching programs. So if anybody is thinking, I really need a coach to support me this year, we have one-on-one coaching and group coaching. We also have on-demand courses. So at whatever level you need support, we have that available. We have our done with you in mind consulting. Maybe your business is a little bit bigger, or you have another organization that may need some of the information that we have to offer, especially around like confidence building and leadership. Then you can get consulting packages as well. We have our done for you marketing services where we actually, from thought to posting, we take care of it. So we ghostwrite your content, we create your graphics, we edit your videos, and we post them for you so you can go and be great and do all the other things that are important to you and your business. We have our done your way virtual assistance services, which is actually pretty new. We launched it in the latter part of last year. And that is just a way for you to scale with confidence and scale without the anxiety of thinking like, I don't know this person, I don't know if they're going to be able to do the work I'm asking them to do. But we have vetted some amazing virtual assistants, and they're now here to support you as you grow your business. And then last but not least, we also have some a la carte services. So maybe you're not ready to lock into any type of big contract, but maybe you need a website, a logo, a landing page, an intro, a course created, what have you. We also have those items that you can grab as needed without a big contract, and you can be on your way. So that is what we offer in a nutshell. So let's talk about what we're going to learn today. And again, if you're watching Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, definitely drop a comment below, especially if you have a goal that you've already set for yourself this year. I would love to know what that goal is because I will hold you accountable. But today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about creating SMART goals. But again, I promise you, once we get past that basic part that I'm sure most of you understand, we'll dive deep into some nuances. Then we're going to talk about breaking down those goals. And then we're going to talk about monitoring and adjusting those goals. Because again, the key word for the year is implementation. So how are we going to discuss that? We're going to talk about the GROW model for implementing your goals. Again, we don't want you just to craft the goal and then it goes off into the ethers, never to be seen again. We want you to craft a goal that you're actually going to work towards all year long, and you're going to implement what you need to get it done. That's what we want to do. So GROW stands for goal setting, revenue actions, operational actions, and watch and adjust, right? 4 simple steps, but those 4 simple steps are really going to move you from having a dream to actually having goals that you get through, implement, and come on the other side as having successfully completed them. So let's start with the G, and that's the goal setting part. So most of us have heard of SMART goals, but for those who may not have, let's go through it real quick. All right. So SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or relevant, depends on where you're from. And then T is timely or time bound. Okay. And just to make sure we are all clear and we are on one accord, when we talk about specific goals, they really take care of the what and the why. What are we trying to achieve and why are we trying to achieve it? Measurable is how we are going to gauge the success of that particular goal. Oftentimes, people come to me, they have a goal, but it's pretty nuanced, and there's no way for me to know how they plan to measure the success of it. They're like, okay, I want to have a book at the end of the year. Cool. But do we care about the sales of that book? Do we care about how many platforms we talk about the book on? Do we care about how big the book is? Because I've seen people talk about having a book and then they come out with a pamphlet. Like, let's be clear on how we're gonna measure the success of that goal. Achievable or attainable is about something being realistic. Oftentimes people will pick they'll pick a goal that really is just not attainable for them at that current time. It isn't, it isn't something that they more than likely are going to be able to do. They're just kind of like, hey, I want to do this. It's like, well, let's first of all look. If we're going to say we're going to make $1,000,000 this year, did we make $1,000 last year? If we didn't make $1,000 last year, let's pull back a little bit and be more cognizant of what we truly can possibly achieve in the timeline that we're setting based on the materials and the resources and the data that we already have. All right, then we have relevant or realistic. And again, that kind of builds on it saying, um, does what we have going on align with where we're trying to go in business? Because sometimes we pick a goal and we're like, where, and me as a coach is like, where did that come from? Why is that here? And it's like, oh, because that's something that maybe was tugging on your heart, but it doesn't really align with everything else that you said you want to accomplish. And so sometimes we have to say, wait a minute, is this really where we're trying to go? And if so, then it'll hit that realistic um, or relevant point in our SMART goal series. And then T, time bound or timely, just says, when is this thing due? And I would say going even further, saying not only when it's due, but what are the milestones or the timeline of that goal? Because a lot of us in business have at least year goals, right? Some people have like 3, 5 years, but at least year goals. And so if you have a year goal, you really do need to have some milestone dates as well, because you don't want to get to the last month in the year and say, let me start on that goal now, because usually it's too late to achieve it if we wait that long. So just keep that in mind. All right, some things to think about when you are setting goals. And let me just move my notes a little bit. When you define your goals, I really want you to start thinking about what does success look like on the other side? Because we have lots of ideas as entrepreneurs. A lot of us are very creative. But if the goal was accomplished, right? Because we only can tackle so many goals at once. If it was accomplished, what does that look like if we succeed, right? Because if you say, all right, I want to make $1,000,000 this year, what does that look like for you? Or if you say, I want to have more work life balance, what does that look for you? What does that feel like? What does that do for you in the end? Because oftentimes we need that information to fuel us for the journey ahead, right? Just like I would say, get grounded in your why. Why are we doing this? What is the real intent behind it, and what is it going to look like on the other side? Because I want to know before I get there. I want to know, like, I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel like I accomplished what I wanted. I'm going to be able to fund these other projects. I'm going to be able to feel like, this was a great idea to have this business. I'm going to be able to help this many people. What does success look like if you achieve that goal? And then again, making sure that our goals align with our overall business plans. We talked a lot at the end of the year about business plans. Pull it out, dust it off, shake it out, look at it and say, okay, as I develop my goals for the year, for the month, the week, whatever, do they align with this document that I took all this time to make? Right? When I sat here and said, okay, this is what my business is about, this is what I do, are these goals really going towards that idea? Because if they're not, and sometimes they're not, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I see a lot of people have a lot of goals. If they don't, then let's go ahead and say, let's put that to the side because it's probably not a big of a priority. A lot of times, again, our heart gets tugged. People are like, but I want to go volunteer and I want to go and speak over here and I want to go do this. And it's just like, okay, but what is our main vision for the business? What did we say we want to accomplish? Does that goal help or does it detract our time and our attention? If it detracts, right, then we need to say, put it on the back burner for later. Let's get back to our main point of focus. All right. Be okay with refining your goals as needed. Sometimes we'll have a goal based on the information we currently have, based on what's happening currently in our industry, but things change. Things change. And sometimes we have to say, wait a minute, hold on. Let me not hold tight to this. Let me say, okay, based on new information, based on what I know to be true now, let me adjust this. And it's not because I think some people feel like, well, what's the point be if I'm going to change it? It's because we do the best we can at the moment we can. You know what I mean? Like things are changing. Think back to 2020 when COVID happened. The business goals, all the smart goals you done set up, the business plan, all that had to be adjusted because you didn't have the information of the industry shifts at that time. Small businesses and big businesses alike had to shift rapidly in order to stay afloat. And those who could not shift and adjust got left behind. So we really have to just be cognizant of sometimes there's going to be refining, reworking, or literally throwing out and coming back to the drawing board because you learn new things. You realize certain things just aren't going to pan out and you have to adjust. I know for me, myself personally, last year, one of the things I thought I wanted, guys, was I wanted to go and be paid to speak all over the country. I was like, I want to be booked and busy every month. And then about, I would say halfway through the year, we had done a couple of trips and I was like, I don't really like this. I don't like flying alone because of my vision. I don't like having to pay to fly somebody else out with me because it cuts into my profit margins. And I also realized I'm a homeschooling mom and I really would like to just be home. I don't mind going out here and there, but I literally thought last year that was going to change how I did business. I wanted to just go out and be the speaker more than anything else. And I was like, no, that isn't what I want to do. And if you really watch closely to my business, you see that it morphed a little bit and I went back to what I really love, which is coaching. And that's okay. So that sometimes that happens. We think we want one thing, we get out there and get a little taste and it's like, that isn't actually what I want to do. And that's okay. We just have to come back, refine and remanage those goals. And that's okay. It's okay. And it happens more often than not when you're newer into your business because, hi, Esther. Yes, it happens more often in the beginning stages because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that happens. I had a conversation with a young lady a couple of months ago. She had been referred to me and she had already done a lot of work in a business because she was like, I want to have passive income. I want this, I want that. And guys, when I looked at that business, I was like, friend, when a conversation starts with friend, I was like, friend, I don't see it. I was like, I don't think she had done the market research, right? She knew what she liked and built a business based on that, but the market research was not looking favorable to her based on what she had access to, right? Her overhead for having inventory was so high. Like in order for her to produce the product, it was so high that meant her sales, like how much she actually sold the products for, was high, and it just was way higher than industry for what she was selling. And it was like, and also you would have to market it, and it was like you have to build a team, and you don't like that ain't passive. It wasn't passive, and it wasn't sustainable, and it really wasn't going to be great for the market. And so, it happens. You have to adjust. She was like, all right, I got to go back to the drawing board. It happens. Yes, replays will be available on the platform that you're watching. Yes, on LinkedIn. Sorry, I'm reading the comments as I talk. But yes, so it happens and it's okay, guys. Don't let that deter you. Don't let one hurdle or challenge make you think like, dang, I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur, we all have to sometimes go back to the drawing board or readjust. I've seen big business owners have to do it as well and say, thought that was going to be the thing, and it wasn't. Another key when you're thinking about goal setting is to work backwards. Sometimes it's hard to work from making the big goal, right? Because you're like, okay, well, I know where I want to go, right? But I don't know what's in the middle. What I do oftentimes is I'll have an idea of the big goal, and then I'll chop it. And we're going to talk more about chopping it up. And I say, okay, to get that goal, what do I have to do maybe every quarter? Then in that quarter, what would I have to do? And then in those months of that quarter, what would I have to do? And then in those weeks of that month, what do I have to do? And then each day, what do I have to do? Like I just chump it, and it makes it more manageable. If I go the reverse in and say, all right, I got this big goal, what do I need to do on day one? I'm like, oh my gosh, have no clue. So don't be afraid to work backwards. If you know the finish line, just start chunking it and figuring out what you need to do until you get to daily work. And again, we'll talk about that more in a moment. All right, so now that we have our SMART goals, let's talk about those chunks, because there's two categories that we get into. The first one is revenue actions, because I think sometimes we have action steps, but what happens is that we do typically what is most comfortable for us. Some of us are the people that just like to work in the background. Like, that's just our home. We're comfortable there. We don't have to worry about people saying no to us. We don't have to worry about things not being perfect. We're back there just doing our little work, right? If you're somebody who's like, I've been developing this one product for 2 years, you're that person. You're sitting in the background. You like to be there. You've been working on your website, working on your logo, writing a speech, making a course for a long time. You're this person. But I want you to realize that you have to be able to do both things. You have to be able to do revenue actions, and you have to be able to do operations. Operations sometimes comes easier because it is that background stuff. And if you're not somebody who likes sales and likes tech, it can be a little challenging to be to put revenue steps into your plans for achieving your goals. But you got to do both. Sorry, it is what it is. All right. So when it comes to revenue actions, I made sure in my notes that I put some in here, some examples for you to understand. Things like expanding your products or services, right? So having your product suite and really pushing that when you do your marketing. Enhancing your sales strategies, maybe adding ads, funnels, appearances, speaking engagements, what have you. Increasing your marketing efforts, developing strategic partnerships and collaborations. These are things that you can plot on your graph these tasks to revenue, right? If I increase how many things I offer, right? And we've talked about our product suite before and having different levels of offerings. If we do that, then we should be able to see that line and say, okay, great. Now more people can buy my services. Because typically with coaches, they start at one-on-one because it's easier, less overhead. And then when they add group coaching or they add courses or ebooks or webinars, then more people have access to them, and then the revenue increases. So we should be able to see, okay, products equals revenue. Sales, if you're working on your sales strategies, if you have ability for people to do sales calls or just to buy on your website or buy in your e-course platform, we should be able to see that. Marketing channels, maybe you have funnels that have come out and lead magnets and things like that. Those should increase your sales. All right, but then on the flip side of that, we have operational action steps. These are the background stuff. So thinking about streamlining your business processes. This is something that we did in my business a year or two ago, where we really were like, we need SOPs for everything. Those were standard operation procedures. And we did that because I could not be the only person doing all the things. And so that may be something that in your business right now, you're like losing your mind because you can't do everything, but you're sitting here like, I got to train the next person. It's going to take all these many months. It's like, you need to streamline your business processes. You need to make sure that you spend some time making sure that you understand how all the parts of your business work together and how that's going to help you be a successful business. You may need to enhance technology or tools or software. Those are things, and a lot of times these are things that detract your money because you're investing in it. We're using a streaming software right now that costs. We have an e-course platform that costs. We have the email marketing, we have funnels, we have different things. Those all come at a cost, and those all have to be created and managed. Those are operational action steps that go towards some of our business goals. Staff and training and development and your personal development are all things that should be action steps towards your goals. If you are not personally educating yourself as a coach or consultant, every single year you're doing yourself a disservice, because it doesn't matter what type of coach or consultant you are, there's always new things coming out, whether that be technology or just things in your industry. And so you should always be investing in education with your time and your money. And I'm just going to call a spade on that. It is what it is. And I always say this, if you are, because this is what happens with coaches. They're like, I'm not going to pay for a coach. If you won't pay for a coach, why would somebody pay for you? Right? If you don't invest in yourself, why would somebody invest with you? I'm going to just let that sit there. So when you have your goals of, okay, I want to hit this amount of money, what revenue actions do you need to put in place to get to those goals? And what operational actions? And for real, most goals need both, right? Because we want to make sure that we're doing things every day, every week, every month, every quarter that are bringing in money. But we also want to make sure that our business is sustainable and here for the long haul, and that we're going to be able to actually happily be business owners, because you don't want to be stressed every day. And so you need those operational actions as well. So that's that piece people forget. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna, write whatever actions. And usually all those action steps are in our comfort zone. It's like, no, we have to actually say, okay, are we gonna make money from these things? I know that's a dirty word, but are we gonna make money from this? And then are we gonna be able to sustain our business with this? Okay, those matter. Both of those things matter. And so with that kind of being said, as you guys are thinking of these big ideas and you are solidifying what that goal looks like attached to that big idea, I do want you to write it down. I don't care if you're a digital planner, I don't care if you are a paper planner, but I do want you to write it down. And if you like, a lot of people like mind mapping. If you want to have it in the middle and draw the lines, fine, whatever works for you. But I want you to have your goal written. I want you to make it smart, but then I want you to go that extra mile and say, now that I have my SMART goal, remember, work backwards. What do I need to do every quarter? What do I need to do? Remember, operationally and revenue wise, what do I need to do every quarter to hit that goal? Operationally and revenue wise, what do I need to do every month? Right? Track this stuff. Then after that, what do I need to do? What do I need to do weekly? Then daily to achieve those goals. Because if you're not doing that, the likelihood of you implementing the things you need to implement and actually achieving that goal is slim to none, because it's just out there floating with a hope and a prayer, and that is not getting you where you need to go. Okay? All right. So, change my view. Like I'm up here being grown. You change my view. There we go. All right. So once you have done those action steps, this last part is so important. You need to watch and adjust. We kind of talked about it already a little bit, but you need to make sure that you are looking at the data. So some people will say, okay, I want to, use social media marketing. Great. Are you looking at the data? Are you looking at what works, or are you just assuming? So I'm going to be real with you for a second. I'm going to go large on the screen. Some of you think that a like, right? You do a post and you get some likes. You're like, yay, that's a winning post. Did the post bring you revenue? Okay. Did it bring you revenue? If it didn't, then is it still this like big thing? I think we have to get out of this idea of like likes and follows. Somebody with a couple of followers could still be making more money than somebody with thousands of followers. It's because how you use the software, right? How you use social media. And so when you look at your data, yes, look at the hard numbers, of engagement and all that, but also look at what's happening after that. What did they do? Because oftentimes I tell clients, yes, post every day is great because it helps the algorithm know that you're posting, and then you'll get seen by more people and have more of an opportunity. But also with that, set up a system where not only do they get to see you when they want, but you can engage with them when you want. So go live, right? Reach out to them in the DMs. Don't wait for them to reach out to you. You reach out to them, right? Create lead magnets where they can come into your business in a different way, where you can then email them so that you have more of a connection, right? So yes, the post was great, but if the post was a lead magnet that let them then be able to get something additional and me to get their name and email address, so then I could email them or even give them a phone call, and then we get on a sales call and they become a paid client, then that's a successful post. I don't care if they like that post or not. I care, did we get the sale? And so yes, again, look at the data, all of your social media platforms, your emailing platforms, all of that, even like your website, it has ways for you to look at the analytics and see engagement and, clicks and all the fun stuff. But if your goal is to make a certain amount of money, to have a certain amount of clients, do whatever, then you really need to say what's happening after. So I do want you guys to keep that in mind, because some people have their souls crushed when they are not getting likes and they're not getting follows, or they don't have this huge Facebook group or whatever. It's like you can do a lot with a little. I had several good paying clients before I had a website and before I had a social media, any social branded social media platforms. And that wasn't my goal. My goal was not to have a website and a whole bunch of social media platforms. My goal that first year was to not be in debt and to have clients. Like, proof of concept was the goal the first year. And so don't let other people's goals also influence you on what your goals should be. I knew that I was trying this thing out the very first year. I knew that I had to kind of figure out what it is I was even going to offer, and I wasn't sure of what the industry standard was. I just kind of threw myself out there. And so my goal was not to hit six figures. My goal was not to post every day. My goal was not to have an amazing SEO on a website. It was none of those things. It was not be in debt and proof of concept. Was somebody going to hire me? Was I going to make any money at all selling anything? And once I did that first year, then of course I could increase what I wanted to accomplish and was able to. And I do consistently do that. Even now, I build on what I've already accomplished and say, okay, next year, this is what I want to do. And I always try to make it challenging for myself. That's something too, when you're goal setting, making sure that you're challenging yourself. Because there's no point in putting it as a goal if you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna get that. It's like, come on now, push a little bit harder. If you already know, if you're at 999, you know what I'm saying? Facebook followers, don't say, oh, I'm gonna have 1,000 at the end of the year. It's like, all right, we only one away. What's gonna happen? So just keep that in mind as well. But all right, I'm not gonna ramble all day. Thank you guys who did watch live. Definitely shout out to you guys on all, and it worked for Instagram. Who knew? We got it. Thank you guys who are watching the replays. Again, the replays will be available on all of your platforms, and YouTube will also have it. And also our paid coaching community will also have it. I'm going to put it in back end, so it'll be there as well. But remember, Monday Night Lives every single Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be here. If you're in our private Facebook community, you will be able to see the upcoming ones for this month and be able to see the topics. So you can go ahead and RSVP to those. I will try to get those on LinkedIn as well. I don't know if I can do them on Instagram. We'll have to see. Guys, I'm always learning new stuff. So we'll see about that. And also, if you are struggling to set your goals, or if you have goals but you're not sure how you're going to get there, please book a free call with me. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you already have going on. Let's see how we can utilize what you've already probably spent your money on already. And let's get you where you want to go, because that's what I'm here for. Last but not least, I'm going to just throw up here a quick little video, just letting you guys know a little bit more about our services. Definitely check us out. Let us know if you need anything, and I will talk to you guys next time. Are you a service-based small business owner juggling multiple roles and constantly racing against the clock? Make IROC Marketable Business Solution your trusted business partner in achieving business success. We understand the unique challenges you face in managing your business. That's why we offer a range of virtual assistant services tailored just for you. Our virtual assistants are skilled, dedicated, and ready to lighten your workload. Imagine having a partner who can handle your social media management, data entry, and travel plans. Picture a team that creates engaging video content for your audience. Think about never worrying about administrative tasks again. With IROC, you don't just save time, you gain peace of mind. Our virtual assistants are like an extension of your business, allowing you to focus on what you do best. Join the countless small business owners who have elevated their businesses with our VA services. Ready to take the next step towards business success? Discover how we can make your business journey smoother. Unlock the full potential of your business with IROC Marketable Business Solutions.